Hey, romantasy and wine lovers. Quick question. What is better than getting lost in a swoon-worthy magical world? How about getting lost with a glass of the perfect wine? That's the entire idea behind Bookish Wine. They're a quarterly subscription box dedicated to the glorious genre of romantasy that we all love, and we are obsessed. Every 3 months, you get a beautiful special edition romantasy book and a custom crafted bottle of wine that is made and labeled to match the world and the theme of the featured book. They do the pairing, so all you have to do is sip, read, and escape into fantasy realms. Ready to upgrade your reading nights? Head over to www.bookishwine.com. That's BOOKISHWINE.com and use our code Narratives and Nightcaps at checkout to receive a signed copy of the December book and start reading, sipping, and subscribing today.
Welcome to our series special, a unique segment of Narratives and Nightcaps, the book club podcast where we dive into the details of a book series, pair it with a nightcap, and leave a book review. It's your favorites. I'm Jordan.
I'm Emily.
I'm Megan.
I'm Bree.
Did you forget your name, Megan?
That's like a Mexican standoff. I'm not gonna lie. It was like the eyes on screen.
On these ones, I feel like I don't remember the order that we got. Because I feel like I'm last in our recaps.
If you ain't first, you're last.
Should I be last again? I don't know.
I don't know if we have an order. I think we just like give eyes on camera, like who's
feel
going
it with your heart.
Yeah, even though no one's in the same order. But
No.
Oh my goodness. Well, ladies, I'm so excited to be back with you tonight and to be wrapping up our American Royals series. Listeners, we are coming to you with book 4 in the American Royals series by Katharine McGee, and that is Rain. I think that tonight's going to be an interesting conversation. So, Emily, I'm just going to invite you to dive right into this nightcap because as I was reading your notes, I was getting pretty excited. So let's go for it.
I'm glad you got excited because I think I got really snarky in my notes. It's gonna be
your snarkiness is exciting to me. What can I say?
Snarkier tonight, but we had to go out with a bang on this this pairing. So for the series finale, I chose Sherwin Family Vineyards 2022 Cab. And one of the primary reasons is if you look at the bottle, I know listeners, you're listening to this, it's got an American flag etched like into the bottle, which honestly feels quite perfect because after reading Rain in this series, it's also etched into my brain with the same level of permanence. So if the flag can survive the bottling process, then I can certainly survive Daphne's almost wedding, Beatrice's amnesia, and Sam's Costco redemption arc. The wine itself, though, is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, think rich blackberry and cassis, a little oak, a little spice. It's kind of like the series, part sweetness, part scandal, and part what the fuck, I cannot believe they just did that. Yeah. The wine really does have a deep structured finish. I mean, it's a cab. It's what you would expect. So it's giving complete Daphne energy, intense, unrelenting, and absolutely determined to rule something by the end. Anything. A country, a wedding, Ethan. She'll take anything. She'll take what she can get. There's also a slow burn strength to this. I think that's also what you can expect out of a cab. Kind of like Jefferson's character arc. Very slow. Glacial, in fact. But by the finale, he finally shows up with a little heat, a little conviction, and dare I say, an actual pulse in the plot. And finally, there's the full-bodied warmth that just screams Sam's Hawaii to Costco spiritual journey. She leaves the Hawaiian Islands and comes back like a budget-conscious queen. So yeah, that's the pairing tonight. It's patriotic, it's punchy, it's unapologetically dramatic. So let's dive into this wild finale.
Cheers. Oh
yes,
my gosh.
To that, Emily. That was amazing.
Okay, listen. I mean, hats off to you. We know that we always love your pairings. This top notch. I just love it so much. This was really good. And we're going to do our best, listener, to like hit all of these points. Low key though, can I tell you, bringing in the word glacial. So my husband was sick this weekend, and everyone, guess what dropped earlier this week or last week? It was the teaser trailer for The Devil Wears Prada 2 coming out in May, and I'm so excited.
Wait, I did not even know they were doing this.
Ma'am, I
Oh
will
my
send
gosh,
it
go
to
to Anne
you.
Hathaway's Instagram
Oh,
like
yeah.
Where
right
the
now.
fuck have I been?
This
I
like,
don't
what am I doing?
living under a rock. I have no idea. But you want to know where my husband's been? Clearly not watching The Devil Wears Prada, because I showed him the teaser trailer and he was like, I haven't seen the first one. And I said, you're sick? I know exactly what we're doing. We're watching The Devil Wears Prada.
Oh my gosh.
And you made me think about that scene where I think she like, they're in Paris and she comes to, she comes into, Miranda's like room or whatever, and Miranda asks her to see the guest list for something, and she's like getting her bag out, whatever. She goes, by all means, move at a glacial pace. You know how that thrills me.
The way she like whispers that line though, that scene is also like perfection.
Oh, good. Okay. Off tangent, I promise. I'll make sure that you see the teaser trailer, Megan. It's
good.
So good. And I'm so excited. Anyway. Well, should I dive into the summary? And then I want to hear your ladies' thoughts. Let's go for it. Oh my gosh.
Your eyes got really big.
I know. I'm a little, do I want to
I
know?
noticed none of us wrote down notes, so this is all just gonna come from the heart. It seems
I
like.
would say I do have
totally off the
notes
cuff.
in my phone,
Same.
like what I texted you guys about. I truly don't think I can like say them out loud. Like
I mean,
they're one,
I think-
embarrassing, and two, they are just so what I was feeling in that moment. There's things are in all caps, like there are it's unhinged.
Yeah.
Well,
I have a lot of question marks and a lot of bitch. Like that's what's in my notes.
There's a lot of literally LOL'd out loud.
I have like audible eye roll.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. All right, listener. Well, let's get into it. So thank you, Goodreads, up at the top for this summary. So here is the setup for American Royals 4, Reign. A queen's life hangs in the balance, and her siblings' decisions about what to do, and most of all, who to love, could change the course of history. Romance, duty, power. Only one can triumph in this stunning conclusion to the New York Times best-selling American Royal series. America's royal family is in shambles. Queen Beatrice is in a coma, and Princess Samantha has gone missing. From the looks of things, she ran away with her boyfriend, Lord Marshall Davis, which means Prince Jefferson is currently on the throne. For some in America, it's exactly what they wanted, a king ruling the country. And for Daphne Dayton, who has tricked Jefferson into dating her again, it's the ultimate dream come true. Surely this is all just temporary. Won't Beatrice wake up and reclaim her rightful place? Samantha can't really be gone, can she? And Prince Jefferson will never truly be over his childhood crush, Nina Gonzalez, right? For the Washington family, the stakes are higher than ever. Love might save the throne, if secrets don't destroy everything first.
So dramatic.
Well, oh my gosh. I mean, I feel like with all of her expressions and all of her reactions, Brie just has to go first. Tell us what you thought. Come on, girl. I'm putting her on the spot.
I'm gonna try to be really nice.
Don't.
Okay.
Don't be.
Don't.
So, hold on. Not to be. So, I did not really consolidate my thoughts for this. That's on me. But I don't, much like this book series, I don't know that my opinion has changed a whole lot. Like, this is a 2000 CW TV show. It is essentially just the same story over and over and over again. And so I struggled a lot with that. In terms of this one specifically, without reading what my notes say word for word, we'll just kick things off. Like that fake pregnancy storyline, not needed. Not needed. And there's no consequences for it. There's no real resolution. It's just kind of like, oh, and like now she's not pregnant and no one's ever going to question anything about it. So, not a needed storyline from there. Um I loved Sam's trips to Costco. I was mightily confused about her like journey from Hawaii back, staying with Nina, to randomly staying in what I'm gonna call a frat house, even though I know it wasn't, but staying in a frat
Close
house.
enough.
Like I was like, this just doesn't even make sense. What is going on? What is
Oh
she
my
doing?
gosh.
And then insert like another like possible love interest, which was just my note for that is why with like 10 Y's at the end of that. Um I we all know like Ethan's my favorite character, but for him to just bounce back to Daphne too, although I will say like they're probably my favorite storyline in this whole series is
I
Daphne.
mean, we did say that they were endgame, did we not?
Yeah, which like then I
They're
mean they
not.
kind of were, but like not, it didn't go full circle. Um and then I really for Beatrice's story, I was like, what is this? The vow? Like what is I was just like, what is going on? Like I feel like this entire series is like tried to shove so much into it. And so sorry, I just talked for way too long, but
No,
those are my
no.
thoughts. Anyways,
I appreciate that.
I'm
And
gonna quit while I'm ahead.
I think I resonated with, some, if not all of it. But Megan, Emily, do either of you want to chime in, share your thoughts initially? Oh, no, don't
Okay.
all jump at once.
Oh my gosh, do not leave me hanging after
All right.
that. Like
All
do
right.
not
I'll jump in, and I am going to. I'll read some of my notes here. So this will be a little chaotic, but I think when I got into book 4, I honestly sort of knew what to expect because after 3 books, I was like, okay, this is going to be like you said, Brie, right? A 2000 CW. So I kind of went in going, let's see how like let me just sit back, get some popcorn, and like see how chaotic and unhinged this entire 4th book can go, which I think leads to me saying like I enjoyed this one the most because I think I went in with realistic expectations of like let me just revel in this entertaining chaos. So
I
Yeah,
will agree
fair.
with you. After I just like shit all over it, I will say this was my favorite book.
this was my favorite book too, and
So
I do have a lot of LOL moments for this, but it was my favorite because again I think I knew what to expect when I went in. There were a couple of moments that I'll just call out because I know we're going to talk through some of these key scenes.
Yes.
But Ethan coming back, like he was in
So
Malaysia.
glad.
Why? I think Meg and I texted you this. Like Ethan's back. Why? Like it was just sort of. I mean, I was thrilled.
Yeah,
but-
and sorry to interrupt you, Emily, but one of my notes kind of corresponding with that is like I feel like okay, he's back, and then they just completely gloss over the fact that he and Nina were ever together at all. I'm like,
Did
what?
Ethan
What?
and Nina even have a conversation?
They
Actually,
alleged there was like one line that they like called or like texted while he was there. And
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so because I feel like at one point Nina even goes back through like her dating history and it completely skips over Ethan. Like completely. So I'm like,
I
what?
did
What was
not.
he-
I didn't
Anyway.
understand this either.
No.
I was like, the one liner of like, I called him one time when he's in Malaysia, and I could just tell from that phone call that he was in love with Daphne. I was like,
That's it.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
Okay, now I remember that.
unacceptable.
Okay.
No. And
Okay.
like you brought up that, like, yeah, no, that was, but I was glad he was back. Ethan was one of my
Yes.
favorite characters in this whole series. Like, I applauded his return despite the shady circumstances that he like disappeared originally. So Beatrice, and of course we've gone through, has memory loss, and she like has forgotten the whole last year.
Yes.
Which felt very much like we have worked 3 books to get to a point of her being queen in her own right and calling off her wedding to stand on her own 2 feet. And now it felt like we were going back to a repetitive plot a little bit. I will say I called this out. I think at that moment when we first learn about how severe her brain injury was, There was a quote that said, quote, severe brain damage on both sides, but, quote, your extensive will and determination saved you. And I'm going, what? Like, if will and determination could save you, that's a
If
that's a
only
meta-
we could all be saved that
if
way.
only we could all be saved that way.
You know?
So that was a total soap opera. Like it just felt
Yes.
soap opera-y, but I kind of loved it because I was here for the vibes in this one. This is the part I alluded to earlier. I literally LOL'd out loud when it was revealed that James was Jamie Stewart, Prince of Canada. And by chapter 20, I wrote down, I'm calling it now, Nina's future Canadian queen. Just called
You
that.
know, I want
liked
that
it.
series.
I liked him.
Yeah.
Can we
have the
have
floor.
that series? I would read a series where Nina is Queen of Canada.
Canadian
there a
royals?
spin-off?
Can Roy? We going
Come
Can Roy?
on,
Yeah.
let's go. Let's go.
And right. I'm dead.
Isn't
dead.
there a spin-off? Like, didn't I see that on Goodreads that there's another,
Haven't.
like, Queen's
Oh.
something?
Yeah, like the
novella?
Queen's Game or something.
Yeah,
They-
or
It's been on
the
like the
Queen's
backs of
Gambit,
my
but
books.
I was like, that's like an actual really good show on Netflix.
Maybe. I have
Can
no idea. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Well,
I
Miss
did
Nick-
love
oh,
him.
Go ahead.
No, sorry, I'll wrap up. But I loved Jamie Stewart. He was also like up there with
Yes.
Ethan on characters. The other character that I absolutely loved is the Duchess of Texas. I wish she had been in like other books. Chef's kiss. Loved
She
that
was
character.
so fun.
Wanted to see
my
more of her for sure. I did like Sam and Marshall's story. I got a little lost, Bree, to your point, in the plot of like Sam going to a frat house and like questioning life choices, but I was happy that they kind of ended up together like at the end, right? The one that I wish I had seen more of throughout this book or even throughout the series is Daphne and Louise. Like that's was a key partnership that I feel like came about in the last, 30 to 50 pages, right? And I wish that there had been more of their interaction before, because I think they had enough similarities a little bit that could have been an interesting dynamic to bring Louise in, especially with her similarities with Beatrice and then similarities in getting along with Daphne. Like that could have been an interesting vibe.
No, I love that you bring that up because all that we got in this book of Louise was what, like 1 or 2 scenes, right? And we got a really great scene with her and Beatrice, but like,
yeah,
I'm agreeing with you. I think that I would have liked to see
more, even sprinkled like throughout. I think could have been interesting, but that's my 2 cents. The last thing I'll say is Daphne ruling France with a power of attorney from Versailles is the ultimate ending to this entire series. Like you can't make this up. So, like that was just, there was no other outcome for her. I'm sorry. That was
I'm
it.
not mad about it though.
No,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not mad about it.
It is, sorry, this is so random now too, and I don't know if this came up before, but like, I know this is definitely focusing on like on American royalty. What if there was this CW version of it, but then it's also like, oh, but France also still has all of their royalty living in Versailles,
And so does
and, like,
Canada, and so does
and,
like
yeah,
they
like,
didn't ever have like the French Revolution, and they're just like, oh, and then we have this, and they all still live in Versailles. I'm like, wow, so this is a worldwide thing where we all decided to keep our monarchs. Okay.
I do, though, I will say, I like that she took that stance. Like, I think, let me organize my thoughts here. So I would love to see the historical, like, series of this. We've said that on every episode about this.
Yes.
But in history, the American Revolution was really the one that sparked all the other revolutions in all of those countries. Like, France fell soon after, and it was like a domino effect. So I could see the choice being made that if the American Revolution like happened but didn't become a presidency, I could see that domino never fell to actually impact France and the other countries.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Although I feel like the French Revolution would have happened whether or not the American one did, but
fair, very fair.
These were not great, but no, that's a really good point that like the American Revolution did sort of spark, or wherever there was already a spark, the American Revolution just partially
Reinforced
was
it.
just like extra fuel on the fire
Yeah.
Fire.
to keep it going. So that's a really good point. I just thought I thought it was very interesting because I'm like thinking to visiting Versailles, and I'm just like,
Interesting choice.
People still lived there. I don't know. It'd be fun.
like crazy. Last time I was there, there's like modern art all over the place.
Yeah.
There you go. Megan, did you want to add on to any of that before we get into some of the plot?
I mean, I feel like I just reiterate what everyone says. A lot of regurgitation, I think, from the last 3 books. That I don't know. I agree with Emily. Like, it was kind of fun just to be there for the ride. Like, let's just see what the hell else can possibly happen in this story. I think this one by far felt the least historically significant. I feel like there was a lot fewer references in this book than any others, unless I was just totally like, whatever, I'm just here for it. I had a lot of eye rolls, had a lot of like out loud, like, are you kidding me? This is happening again. Those kind of moments. But the one
Yes.
thing though that, like, speaking back to Daphne, I guess, how do you guys feel about the concept? Because I feel like in this series, Daphne has been kind of pegged as this bad girl, like she's the villain, if you will. And, she has, obviously Gabriella is too, but how do you feel about the idea that she caused all this chaos and then just gets to bounce and go to France? Like, it's like this bad guy wins kind of concept. And I felt kind of mad about it because, I mean, like, cool, good for her. Like, clearly Louise saw that she had all of these really horrible qualities that got twisted into a positive for France. But I was like, we're just letting the bad guy win then. Like, there's zero consequences for her at all.
Well, and I think that you bring up a good point. So we'll just start with the pregnancy, the fake pregnancy, right? And how that was unnecessary. I don't know. I don't want to be unforgiving, if you will, or like, I don't know. I'm thinking of the phrase, and forgive me, I'm going to have to look it up because I can't, I'm going to hate myself for not knowing who said this. Oh gosh. I'm going to have to look this up, but you know that phrase, nice girls rarely make history.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh, well-behaved women seldom make history, right? And I don't know. Yes, is Daphne a bad girl? Yes, did she do a lot of these horrible, terrible things? She did. I think she learned from them. She
Did she?
still has
Because
a
she got a
lot of
job handed to her at the end. Like,
Yeah.
that
Well,
just seems bullshit to me.
running a country. Like,
Right.
and
I mean, is that, do I really want to go there and say, is that any better than what's running our country now? But anyway, I'm just saying, you got to also still keep in mind the whole prefrontal cortex still not being full, like.
That's just an excuse though at this point. Like, it just, like, I understand that they're young. I understand that they're stupid. I understand that this is a teenage soap opera. What I don't understand is we're going to pardon this girl completely and then let her go run France. That's what I don't get.
Well, so let me ask you this. What is it bothering you the most that she got off the hook with, do you think?
Everything.
She drugged her friend and her friend almost died. No consequences.
Yep. That was borderline murder almost.
Yeah, her friend literally could have died. That didn't even come up again. She just like she was just
okay, where's
mentioned Tamari like one time in this book, and then it's just like, but then I had to have her sent off to Japan because like I'd accidentally killed her, so there goes that friendship. So like there's the fake pregnancy, which I cannot believe for the life of me that this book didn't have any repercussions from that. Like,
Same. That was
I was like, if you're gonna put that in the story, like initially I was just like, doesn't even need to be a part of the storyline. But then the fact that there was literally nothing later on, it blew my mind that was even in the story. Because I feel like the same actions could have happened without that specifically. Like the same things could
No,
have
I'll give
happened.
you that. Yeah.
What are some other crazy things that she did?
I mean, every time she like leaked to the paparazzi, that just like goes against her NDA, which she was so like, oh, we have to uphold it. I'm so holier than thou. And then she freaking turns around and does, I mean, that's like slander, isn't it? Like, illegal, illegal, illegal. How much illegal shit can she do?
Oh, me, because I'm with you, Megan. I think this is, like we've talked about, it's a teenage drama kind of thing,
Yes.
right? So I think the audience is perhaps younger than all of us collectively.
15-year-old me would have eaten this up so fast.
Devoured.
No questions.
100%. But I think that's where I like take issue with Daphne's actions. And maybe this is me like putting my mom hat on, right? And like showing my age here, but there's like no lesson for Daphne just manipulating her world around her. Like it sends a message, like that's where I went with it, right? Is there's no consequences. So she just did whatever she needed to manipulate the system and ends up running a country, which is what she wanted in the first place.
Yes.
I think what I, like me now today, would have loved to have seen is her fall on her face, book 2 or 3. Like something happens that she like has to deal with her consequences somehow. And I'm like shooting out here, but then she, I don't know, meets the Duchess of Texas, who like takes her under her wing and like teaches her how to be appropriately strong in leadership and in those spaces after dealing with the consequences.
Or
But
even
that-
if that was like the Louise moment where it's more of
Maybe,
a
okay, there's a Louise
mentorship.
moment. Right.
Yeah.
Like, do you have to clean up your, you have consequences. You did
Yes.
like illegal things. You have to deal with it. And then if there was a mentor moment, Louise, Beatrice, Duchess of Texas, like
Whomever,
even the queen, I forget the mom's name, but the queen, right? Like herself doing a little like under her wing and getting Daphne away from her own mom, which I think we all agree she's a hot mess in and of itself. But a mentorship moment I would have loved to have seen, still culminating in her ending up in Versailles running France, but with a bit of a different like path to get there.
Yeah. I think what I completely agree, Emily. I think it just unsettles me to your point of I can manipulate my entire world. I can manipulate the entire system and then I will be rewarded at the end.
Yep.
That's what I don't like.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that's completely fair. So let's kind of use that for a second and I'll ask the question, who did we think learned their lessons and grew from their experience in this book then? And we can kind of segue then and talk a bit more about
this might be coming from under a bridge a little bit here, but I feel like I think Teddy learned a lot. Because he was struggling with finding his role and who he was supposed to be. And I feel like he had a lot of humility and growth watching Beatrice go through what she went through. And he kind of stepped aside, yet equally stepped in where he needed to be. And so I think for me, he probably showed the most growth of all 4 books.
I like that. No, I think that's solid. Does anybody else have any thoughts on that one?
I would piggyback on Megan's comment because I completely agree. I think Teddy would take the spot, but I also think Teddy and Beatrice, like as a couple together, showed growth. Like while Teddy grew individually, I really loved seeing Beatrice grow in this book, having to rely on Teddy a little bit. Like it allowed him to step up and have still a supportive role. She's queen, but a supportive role and do it together versus her thinking that she has to be the first queen by herself, standing alone in a corner. And I really liked seeing that, like the two of them do it together.
Yeah. No, I think that that's really good. And I did like where their relationship went with it as well. I actually was also thinking about Samantha and Jeff. To be completely honest with you, I think that both of them really kind of went on some interesting journeys through their process. And I don't know if I'm going to be a Jefferson apologist or if I'm going to say like justice for Jeff in this book, to be completely honest, but he grew on me the most this book for sure. And I think that he learned from a lot of his experiences.
I will, as the first one for the last 3 episodes we've had, have called Jefferson all sorts of cardboard-based flat names. I don't know if I would say justice for Jeff, but he definitely had his moment. I give him
He
that.
did.
I will give him, like, maybe not the final rose, but he does get like a nod.
But is he? But is he going to the fantasy suites? But
I
is
don't
he
know if
in
he's
the
on
final
fantasy suite,
three?
but he definitely moved up the rankings.
I don't
I
think
love
he
it.
can handle Oxford Nina. I don't think he.
No.
Oh my gosh. I mean, we'll get there because I will say that I agree. I think that Jamie is a much better fit for Nina. And I liked him so much. At first, well, and honestly, he gave me like the same kind of vibes as my husband, to be completely honest, because when he first came into the chat, like when he first entered, I was like, who the is this? Like, what is like, where
Jordan,
is
I want when we do our get to know you, like I need this whole story because I would love to know how you look at someone you end up marrying and go, "Who the fuck is this?"
Well, I'll
Great.
leave you hanging. I'll leave you hanging with this story. He proposed on our first date.
Okay, bold.
So I'll leave you hanging. I'll leave
There
you
you go.
hanging with that mystery. But no, and then just like the charm and like the confidence and all of these things that Jamie had absolutely grew on me. But bringing it back to Jeff and talking about like his development for a second too, I think that Katharine McGee, the author, I think she really developed him and allowed him to go through so much. The moment that he was facing this possibility of being a dad. So I know we've talked about like, okay, that wasn't necessary. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm also just posing the argument on the opposite end to say, was that for Jefferson's character development? Just as much as perhaps what Beatrice went through was for Jefferson's character development too, right? I don't know.
I feel like if he needed a stress point to develop his character, then that should have been being on the throne. Like I
Yes.
just feel like the whole pregnancy thing didn't. I think if we're looking at that as like, okay, I need to step into a role that I've never been in before, then I think we should have ignored the pregnancy and just said, okay, well now you're about to rule
Here's
in your
what's going on
sister's.
with Beatrice. Here's
Yes.
what's going on with Samantha.
Yeah.
Like, yep.
I also will throw out in that whole pregnancy thing on from a Jefferson character arc standpoint, I was a little disappointed that he didn't reach out to his network. Like when he was super stressed about, the fact of maybe becoming a dad and like, oh my gosh, this is a surprise pregnancy and the whole thing. I mean, Ethan's back in town and supposedly his best friend, right? He may not be as close to his mom, but the queen is like, or queen mother, right, is around. Beatrice is, while recovering her memories, is at least around. Samantha comes back in to the picture. Like the people that he supposedly relies on and are close to him that's not Daphne, and even Nina is buzzing around the situation. I was a little disappointed. Like I would be totally with you, Jordan, if I had seen him maybe reach out to one of those other characters for support and friendship and I'm struggling and help me and like.
Well, no, and to that point now I'm thinking, I'm like, did Ethan even know? Like
Ethan didn't know.
I
Jess
can't
finally
remember.
confessed it to Sam, but after it was like, oh, false alarm, like it's not, real.
Mhm.
And I think that was a real, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more growth from Jefferson there to reach out and like, help me, I'm, kind of a thing, along with, oh, hey, by the way, I'm king.
I think that that's a good segue into maybe another relationship we can talk about that experienced a little bit of friction, but also some repair, which was also between Jeff and Samantha. So as Samantha was off in Hawaii and all of these things happen, and then she comes back and there's this bitterness, there's this frustration, right, on Jeff's part that, oh, and then Samantha renouncing her title, right? But not thinking that she renounced her title, like, oh, which, okay, by the way, you want to talk about some things. Let's talk about how you thought like you'd come back and not be stripped of your titles when literally that's almost exactly what you wrote it down, ma'am.
Yeah.
You
I'm
wrote
like
it down.
chomping at the bit. Like yes, that was like the most. I think that was like probably one of the most annoying sore points of this book for me was exactly what you said, Jordan. Like she literally wrote it basically like a confessional. Like I'm out. I don't want to do this anymore. And then comes back like, oh shoot, that really happened? Dang it. You know, like what did she
Listen,
think was gonna
it's
happen?
giving my trashy reality TV vibes because I can't tell you how many Real Housewives shows I watch, right? And listen, they'll say, I didn't say it. I didn't say
Roll it
that.
back,
And then
roll
they'll
it
roll
back,
back
roll it back.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah. I'm in the midst of anybody else. This is a tangent. Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Damn. Let's
I've
talk
only
about
watched
it.
Season 1. I've only watched season 1.
I'm on episode 1 of season 3, so don't
Okay,
don't
say anything else.
Don't say anything beyond
Yeah.
like season 1 and 2. But I feel like that is exactly like Jordan when you made that comment. I was like, it's like that.
Yes.
That's
I'm
exactly
honestly,
how
I'm
it's
so
like.
disappointed in myself that I've only watched season 1 because like I was
Oh,
so.
don't worry. You'll
and
catch up quick.
I
You'll catch
don't-
up real quick.
I don't watch reality TV, but like the train wreck that is that first season, I
if
could
you
not.
think
I
the
was like,
first
I
season's a
have to
train
watch.
wreck, just you wait. It's
Just
wait.
unhinged. It's unhinged.
And
I'm about
what
halfway
kills
through
me
season
is
3.
in that show, also similar to this book, all of these women, most of them are like in their early 20s.
Oh yeah.
And like already
Mid.
divorced, already have
Yeah,
4
like-
kids, already I'm like, girl,
Yeah.
get your shit together. Or
Yeah.
maybe I need to get my shit together. I don't know. Something's not working here.
I always watch those shows and feel really good about my life choices.
yes.
I watched the second
that's what-
season. Yeah. Like I just feel
Go
better
ahead.
about my life choices.
I just-
you know?
My husband
I-
questions why I do this. I'm like, listen, because then your wife is reminded
Of how
that
good
she's
she is.
not entirely insane, okay?
Can I, and Brie, you can cut this if this is like going too far. I like, okay, a true like confession. I love like some of the absolute garbage that comes off of TLC. I know we've talked a little bit
Yes.
about like Sister Wives. One of my previous like guilty pleasure TV shows, I haven't watched it in a minute, was watching My 600-Pound Life and just being like, oh, like I'm doing so well.
Oh my gosh.
Doing it
Like
so.
I can walk more than a mile. Thank you. I'm good.
Yeah. So
Lord.
again, Brie, you can cut this part out, and then we'll jump back to the book and reality. I watched season like 1 and 2. I can't remember the timing of it. Right after I had my second son in March this year. So I'm like in stained pajamas. It's 2:00 in the afternoon. I have not moved from the couch, but I am feeling so good about my life choices because I'm watching reality TV.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Oh, poor.
Anyway,
Oh my
Okay. Sorry. Back to
back
the
to
book.
the book.
I love it. I love it. No, but Jeff and Samantha, just the sibling rivalry, but then also the reconciliation that happens, I think, between them is something that I appreciate. And we can kind of go through Samantha's journey for a second too and talk about Liam and, you know, the would-be but is not frat house situation and all of that. I was very afraid that was turning into a triangle as well.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
was like,
Yeah. I was
please,
like,
no, I'm not about this.
Yeah.
I cannot. No, absolutely not. Please do not.
Yeah.
And thankfully we steered clear of that. I thought Costco was endearing. I thought throwing that in was really, really nice, right? Like for her to be able to just go through real life experiences. And, as Megan kind of alluded to a little bit, at the beginning of our next season in 2026, listener, we are going to be doing like a get to know you sort of thing where we share a little bit more of ourselves, right? And honestly, Samantha's trajectory, it really kind of made me think of my time in Eugene, Oregon. I lived there for almost 3 years. I was a part of a mission team church planting that went out there. So I was less than a mile away from University of Oregon campus. And I loved that experience, right? But that was the time in my life I got my first Costco membership, and I had my first big girl job, and I really had to learn a lot. I mean, I'm learning as a married woman now in my 30s too, but it helped me. I resonated with Samantha in that is all that I'm saying. So I did appreciate the journey that she went through.
I'm with you, Jordan. I almost, it's like I struggle with that because I almost feel like I wish Liam had perhaps been like a female friend that she befriended, because I didn't love
Sure.
the almost love triangle. I was like, no, 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 don't go there. But I did love seeing Sam have a job at the bar and go to Costco and all of that. And
Yes.
I don't think Nina feels like the right character to introduce her to that place. But I'm glad it stayed platonic in that respect.
Yeah.
Well, because it was good to see Sam like go into that. Yeah.
Bringing Nina into that too. I agree that I don't think Nina was the right person for that, because Nina had to separate herself in some ways. And so I liked that while Samantha and Nina could walk through this season together, because in a way they did, and they were still there for each other, they didn't necessarily have to do it side by side. They supported one another from the sidelines. They were there for each other, knowing what was going on and staying connected and staying involved, but also at the same time, I think letting each other have those boundaries and have that space, which was nice. I don't know if anybody wants to add, or if we just want to go right into Nina for a second too, but Bree, Megan, do you have any more thoughts about Samantha and her kind of journey in book 4 at all?
I don't think so. I feel very similarly to what's been said about her. Respected her journey a lot. Just didn't love the frat house edition for all the reasons we've discussed. But
she needed a Duchess of Texas or a Louise as
she
well.
I think to Emily's point, she needed just a friend, and like not to pull the gender thing, but I think if Liam had been a Lisa who'd like worked at the palace before, and I just think it would have been different, because although it stayed platonic, there was definitely that hint of like, well, I could take this down a love triangle path.
And they kiss, right? And they kiss, and then they're like, oh,
yeah, wait, did she ever tell Marshall that? I don't think he ever knows.
I don't think he knows. Somebody tell him.
Consequence.
Yeah. No.
Mama Emily, Mama Megan, keeping tallies.
Like to casually be like, oh, I'm staying at this house with this guy and like a few other dudes. There are girls here too, and like we may have kissed one time, but everything's fine. Like,
how's surfing in Hawaii?
Yeah, how's Hawaii?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a chaos question. I'm gonna throw this out here. We're talking about all these. Okay,
let's do it.
So when we talk about all these different like love triangles and situations, right? In this book, Nina suddenly has a Canadian prince, right? Sam has Insta romance or Insta friendship, or when I call Marshall and Liam, we've talked about, and Daphne's love life is like overly complicated. So the question is, when does a romantic twist feel fun and exciting? or plot convenience gone wild? And where's the line for you?
My gosh,
Mm.
what a question.
Because I feel like this whole book is plot gone wild.
Plot convenience gone wild.
A little bit. A
Mhm.
little bit. Hmm. The first thought that comes to my mind, I'm like thinking of books, and I don't know that I would be able to like pick one out of a lineup necessarily, but it starts getting a little too wild for me, right? Or like a little too crazy when there's children involved, right? Like we're talking like single dad, like single parent kind of situation. Like sometimes I don't know how I feel about children in my romance books.
Okay.
It, like, I don't
Yeah.
know. Nora goes off script.
That was the one that came to mind.
Did it, but that was so beautifully done. That's almost like an exception to the rule for me. So that's one of the first things that comes to my mind. Another one that comes to my mind, and I don't know if any of you have read it or seen the movie, but The Idea of You by Robin Lee. So we have an age gap, right? Older
I just
woman.
made Jared watch the movie. I don't know that he'll forgive me.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm very sorry, I think. I don't know. I'm not sure how to respond to that. But we have an age gap in there, right? So older woman kind of in her early-ish 40s, late 30s, early-ish 40s, and then like early 20s, male. And the movie did it justice, at least from my opinion. I thought that it did it well. I thought that it did it okay. The book gave me the ick.
Is this like May, December, like that type of vibe?
Kind of, thank you. Yeah, like a May to December romance. Yeah,
Yeah.
like you have or even less time than that. You have like a summer fling sort of thing, and then it's over, and then it's done. I don't know.
But there's a movie, we might be talking about the same thing where I think it might have even started because I agree, like some of those plots definitely give me the ick where it's like very clearly an adult and an older child, we'll say. Yeah, an older child. And
Yep.
I feel like Nicole Kidman was just in a movie like that. Is that what we're talking
Yes,
about?
yes.
Okay.
It's not the same movie.
No.
No,
I think that one is called May December or something similar.
No, isn't that called like Baby or something?
Oh,
Yes.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where
I
it's
didn't see
not.
that, but shout out to Anne Hathaway for coming up multiple times in this episode. I mean, and we're talking about the princess. Like, let's throw in the Princess Diaries.
Oh yeah.
Gotta
so
love
many
her.
times.
So good.
Those are interesting takes. I was not expecting that. I would say like
It's chaos for a reason.
Yeah, no, it is. I like it because it's funny just to hear like because a chaos question. It's like where does your mind immediately go? It's not
Right.
necessarily like the fully thought out. What is your take if you had time to like write an essay about it? I think talking about this book, the line for me is like when you're trying to fit so many of the different romances into the same story. It's
So many of the tropes, you mean?
Yes, exactly. Well, yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like so many of the different tropes with that. Whereas like most romances, let's just talk like standalone. I know that this is a series. Like you normally go into it knowing, oh, okay, like this is a second chance romance. This is a friends to lovers romance, blah, blah, blah. And people write those tropes intentionally. I think the problem that I have, the line for me, especially with this series, but with other books, is when it's very clearly just trying to include all of them without
like
any
everybody
real
has to couple
intention.
up at the end.
Yes. And without any real intention behind it. It's just kind of like, oh, well, like this is a trope, so let's go ahead and put that in there to try to create something. But then there's really no development or backing behind it. I think that's probably the line for me.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yeah. How about you, Emily?
I was gonna say, I think for me in a series, one of the like, I don't know if I want to call it a hallmarks or like what I like to see is when we see, like we all talk about a character arc, right? And they usually go through a journey and a change, and that's like the whole point for the book, right? Is something happens and it causes them to change. And I like to see, especially in a series, when perhaps their romance preferences change, like with their character arc developing. Because in a series, you've got multiple books with which to do both of those arcs together. And I think about the first one that comes to mind, Brie, you'll appreciate this, is Throne of Glass, honestly. Because, right.
So well done. So well done.
Because we go, like, Aelin goes from, like, the beginning, we end up with Rowan, right? But that was, like, after she went through Dorian and, like, others in several books.
Yeah.
And she grew as a character as her romance, I want to say, like, preferences or, like, her, like, taste in men, whatever you want to call it, changes. And through that, the author was able to work in tropes that made sense with the character development. I think, Brie, I agree with you that when it's, and that those were all twists. Like, I will say that those were all like fun and exciting, and you didn't know what was coming, and you were with Aelin on her journey. But when it's just like you don't see the change in the characters that then influences their romantic changes. And I think we've talked about some of that with like Daphne not having consequences, right? And Sam maybe changed the most. We were talking about that a little bit earlier in the episode, but she still had this maybe I could with Liam situation that we weren't all a fan of. Like I was missing the flow of a true character arc that then influenced their romantic decisions to have those twists and turns and changes be exciting and thrilling instead of just plot convenience.
Yeah. No, I think that makes sense. Yeah.
Megan, what are your thoughts? Sorry, Jordan.
I feel like I've chimed in on everybody else. So, no, I agree. I feel like I have probably more like hard cutoffs than I do exciting period. I think any new budding romance is that is the excitement when you like are first getting to know that character and then you're introduced to their potential. Or I love when it's like a dual point of view where then you're kind of like seeing how they end up growing together. Love that. Kind of to your point, Emily, the character arcs as it's growing, they're growing together.
Yeah.
I love that. I think that's exciting. I feel like that keeps things fresh without it, and it can have the same tropes as always, but I think that there's always a good way to differentiate those in every novel, and that's why people keep doing them, because it stays fresh, it stays happy, it stays friendly. I think I do have a lot of hard cutoffs. So Brie, to your point, I don't necessarily need a book where every single person is paired together. Like you don't have to have a happy ending for every person. And honestly, if we take a step back in this book, Jefferson gets nobody. So, I mean, it kind of doesn't work out for him. And then Jordan, as I jumped in with you too, like I think we have to be very conscious of age gaps, especially, I mean, just adult to child. That's a pretty hard line. I feel like I've read a lot of books. Now, I'm not saying I won't read them because obviously they get your attention, but it's something that I think has to come with a lot of trigger warnings, and it can be very hard to swallow depending on what is happening in the book. So, and then I feel like the other one to me, and this kind of backtracks what I said, but I think if it's like too obvious of a trope, like it's just so in your face, so overly done, then that's also kind of a turn off for me, where it's like, okay, we get it. Like you're clearly gonna get back together, or whatever the case is. Like I just like it to stay light and happy and fun. And if it's like just getting shoveled down your throat with every chapter you're reading, I'm like, okay, we get it.
And to that point though, too, in my opinion, that's when you lose some of the chemistry.
Yes, 100%.
I don't know. And to me, that's bringing it back to the book, I think too, that's why for me, Jeff and Nina didn't work, right? Like, you like there's a part of you as the reader, and then you think about them as the characters and you go like, oh yeah, great, like I want this for you, like I want this to work. And then at some point, like, man, you're just trying too hard.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like it's not working. And I can appreciate, I think that as a writer, Katharine McGee really did a good job of making that obvious and doing that. I don't know.
One thing, Jordan, I'll
Yeah,
just
go
throw
ahead.
this out and then we can keep moving to the next. One thing I thought Catherine McGee did really well in this book is the scene where Beatrice goes to Texas and has a meeting with Connor. Like I
Yeah.
talk about romantic character arcs and like of evolution and the whole thing. And I think we talked about this on a previous episode for this series. You know, Connor kind of embodied the like romance when she was a princess, when she was younger, and she like that was what she needed. But Teddy really grew into the romance and the man, if you will, that she needed at the time, right?
Yes.
So I really loved how Catherine wrote that part where Beatrice went to Texas, not only met with the Duchess of Texas as like a mentor and as supporting the young queen, but also seeing Connor again, like that was really well done and just reinforced that she has evolved, therefore her romantic tastes and needs have evolved, and they like parted as friends kind of thing. I really
Yes.
liked that moment.
No, and
That was season
Beatrice
4,
grew so
episode
much.
6. Like,
There you go.
And yeah,
Yep.
well,
Yeah.
up.
No, and I think she learned so much about what she wanted, right? Versus what she needed as well.
Right.
And not only that too, but just how again Connor and Beatrice worked in a moment, right? And then that
was okay.
wasn't sustainable, and
Yeah.
that's okay. So anyway, no, I appreciate that you brought that back. I thought that was really
Yeah.
good. One big thing that, I mean, we do need to talk about one character that I think kind of sort of does get her comeuppance, but also at the same time doesn't, and that's Gabriella. So she'll just get like a little unhonorable mention in here, if you will, for a moment. So listener, to catch you up on that, like her father is embezzling, so that's a whole thing. She, of course, does not believe in consequences, because why would you when you've been raised in this world, kind of a thing. And I mean, how did we feel and what did we think when Jefferson kind of stepped in and basically told her to shove off and get lost?
I felt like it was one of his more mature moments.
Yes.
So,
Agreed.
There was no flatness there.
No.
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 True,
One of
And for
his-
once, he didn't take her side like he did with Daphne when it was Nina trying to tell him the truth. So that was a little bit redeeming for Jefferson.
There you go. I like that. I like that. See, and that's really all that I need to give to Gabriella, unless anybody else wants to throw any more thoughts in there.
The funniest, you talk about drama and just like bringing your popcorn to this series. The funniest moment for Gabriella for me was the end of the last book, towards the end, when Daphne thinks that she's got her with the cocaine.
With the cocaine.
You know? And Gabriella's like, it's my daddy's dealer. My daddy does it too. Like that was just, that is the epitome of the drama level and ridiculousness in this series.
100%.
I like 100% picture Gabriella as because I actually think it's one of the names too. You know, the evil stepsisters and Cinderella. I'm pretty sure it's Gabriella and Anastasia are their names.
Okay.
And they're just like so huffy
Very
and grumpy,
and
and it's
like-
just like, yeah, and like you can like see her reaction as you're reading the book, because she's just is acting like a toddler and stomping around.
Okay, did you guys, this is going to be a really silly question. I'm assuming you watched at one point High School Musical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And is it Sharpay, the blonde, like,
Yes.
yeah, that is who I picture as Gabriella.
Oh my God, that's perfect.
Like,
I
same
love that.
vibe, right?
I love that. That is too funny.
Yeah.
Well, and that kind of takes us into, we'll talk a little bit about Ethan and Daphne, I think, as we draw it in for a close a little bit here. But again, listener, reminding you as we discuss on Book Club, we are spoiler friendly, not spoiler free. I don't know why I'm reminding you of that, like an hour almost into this, but
We're
um
almost done.
so anyway, talking about the blackmailing for a second
Oh, yeah.
here that Daphne and
Mhm.
Ethan go through, and then remind, oh my God, I had like so many different theories of who I thought that it would be. Nina was not on my bingo card. I'm not gonna lie.
Jordan, who was top
Literally,
of your I'm curious,
go ahead.
who was top of everyone's bingo card for who was blackmailing them? Like before we get to the review, the
Well, when we found out that it was Samantha's laptop, I actually legit wondered if Marshall had gone rogue.
okay.
Ooh.
My thought had been Marshall for a minute or two, only
Okay.
because he wasn't hugely in the book either,
Sure.
right? Like
Yeah.
he's on the island, he's in Hawaii, and then come to find out, like, okay, but also who didn't love Ray? I thought that Ray was
Right.
just the coolest. Like, all right, girl, like she's awesome. And anyway, listeners, so she's the one that Ethan and Daphne end up like trying to hire to figure out who is,
Yeah.
blackmailing them. And they find out that it's from Samantha's computer, from Samantha's laptop. And I was like, well, clearly she didn't leave Hawaii with it. So it must be
There you
Marshall.
go. Bree,
I
Megan, who
think
did you
I thought it was Ethan, to be honest. I think I thought that he was kind of doing it as a ploy to get he and Daphne
Yep.
closer because I mean he also like conveniently had the connection of Ray and he conveniently had, the same messages and all of this stuff. So I thought
Okay.
maybe it was him.
I am 100% in that camp, Megan. He didn't seem as hot and bothered by it as
Right.
Daphne was. He just seemed like he was going along with Daphne's lead.
Well, and I
Um,
feel like he kept saying like it's not Gabriella, it's not. So I'm like,
Right,
okay,
like,
the bitch
That
is you.
too.
yeah,
That
he
too.
kept saying
And
like, "Leave
he
Gabriella out of it."
he didn't seem to like whenever she like went to Ray on her own
Right.
either.
Yeah.
There was
I
that
thought
as well.
I thought it was Ethan until the Samantha laptop drop, and then I went, Nina. I thought I went to Nina right after.
Did you
like-
really?
All up to the Samantha laptop, though, I was convinced it was Ethan.
That's so funny. Okay, so
Yeah.
my note here, literally as we found out it was Nina, my note says, is this some weird kind of royal version of the Parent Trap? What the heck?
Nice.
Like, actually, what the heck? Because, listener, Nina reveals herself to Daphne, and
Yeah.
she's like, look, I was doing this to help you. I was doing it to help you because you know that you and Ethan love each other, and you just needed to figure it out. And I had to speak your language. And what's your language?
Being a bitch.
Crime. Oh, tomato, tomato.
Yeah.
Potato, potato.
Yeah, my note was literally Nina was the bad guy? Question mark, question mark, question mark.
Yes.
Like what?
She went from, I think it was book 1 or book 2, where remember when she didn't stand up to Daphne in the bathroom when she was cornered?
Yes.
To heels clicking down the hallway as she is the bad guy now, orchestrating the whole thing. I mean, that's a dark
Yes.
character arc if you ever have one.
Yes.
There you go.
Bree,
Oh my
we
gosh.
didn't get your predictions. I mean, we obviously know who it was, but who did you think it was?
I thought it was Hamari, right? That's her name. Okay, so I thought
That
it was
would
cool
have
because
been
I
a
was
cool
like,
way to bring her in.
I
Yeah.
was like, there's no way this isn't gonna have any sort of closure. Like, I'm like, did we truly just write this girl off after she almost died?
Yes.
And we did. I mean, that's what happened. But up until the laptop, I thought it was Hamari because I was like, Hamari is the one that would know a lot of these secrets. And sure, they parted on good terms, but do you ever really part on good terms after the girl almost killed you? I don't know. I don't think I would
be quite so forgiving of that. So
I mean,
that
I
was
don't
my.
think any of us have firsthand experience in that department, but probably not.
I mean, I would like to think I wouldn't blackmail somebody, but she was my guess.
No,
was-
that's a
That's a
strong.
fair guess.
That would have been a great way to bring Hamari back.
Yeah.
If I wouldn't have been opposed to that. I mean, did I like that it was Nina, and did I think that it worked? Yeah, I mean, it was valid, but that was also just
Was
oh my
it?
gosh. She said, but
Yeah.
was it?
This whole series, I've just been like, I
Oh
don't
my
know.
gosh.
It's for the vibes.
Yes.
Okay. And on this note as well, I mean, y'all can call out anything that you think that I missed. But I'm just gonna say, as far as Daphne going to Versailles, like getting this like fresh start and everything, honestly, after Mama Rebecca's reaction to the canceled wedding, shoot, I would have gone to Versailles too. That's all I'm saying. And I wouldn't be upset if Daphne never spoke to her mother again. That's all I'm saying. Just throwing that out there. Because we also, this is the first time we get like physical abuse in there as well with the slap, like when she hits her. And that I was like, okay, done. 100% done. Anyway, don't know that that's like the best note for me to try to hang this on. I'm like, oh shoot, what else should
And
I?
on that note, thank you so
On
much.
that note of physical abuse.
Yeah.
Right? I'm like, wait a second. What else am I missing anything? Is there anything that you guys
My
can think
one
of?
note, and you guys let me know because this is gonna bash on somebody else. Back to Nina. How do we feel about her just being a huge fucking hypocrite this whole time of being like, I don't want the spotlight, I don't want to date a prince, and then goes right back to dating a fucking prince.
Prince.
I'm just like, girl, make up your damn mind.
I
That was
also-
like my one qualm with her in this book.
I will also say, Megan, it was like too perfect. Like, we go back to the romantic, like too perfect
Yes.
moment that it's and this is no diss on Canada in any way, but it's the Canadian prince. So he talks about there's a little less paparazzi, and there's a moment where he describes his situation, and they're in a bar eating poutine and Canadian beer, which was, love it. Poutine's delicious, but it was a little too cliched and like perfect for Nina's ending.
Yes.
Like it was the prince without all the attention
Yes.
in a way. Like, yeah, I'm with you.
I just was annoyed that she walked right back into the arms of exactly who she said she didn't want to be with, which is why I rooted so hard for her and Ethan as both being the underdogs. And we still don't know who Ethan's father is. That bothers me.
Now there's where we end. Who is Ethan's
Who is the father?
Final guesses on Ethan's father, and then we'll wrap this up. Final
I still
round
stand
table.
by it was the king.
I think I needed to be the king for the additional drama.
I'm with that. And that tracks with the, early aughts, early 2000s CW stuff.
I don't think it can be anybody else but the king. He's
Right.
got to be Jefferson's half brother. I mean, and Beatrice's and Sam's half brother. Just has to be.
There's no other way.
No.
But to your point as well, I mean, I guess, Megan, just to kind of close out that thought, I think that it's Daphne that really actually makes all the difference there. And part of the difference being that Nina didn't feel so much like she was in competition for Jamie anymore. That to me, that I think that that's where I see it being a different situation with Jamie versus with Jefferson. I don't know. That's my theory.
Brie, I feel like you got something too.
I know. Bree's still
You're
Fill it.
shuffling your hands
Take
over
the
there.
filter off.
Like
I know.
I've said more than enough.
Bree's like, I'm good. I'm ready to be done with this series.
I'm not gonna lie. No, here's the thing. I think it was entertaining. I think it's been really fun to talk about. I love that we've like had a lot of variety with our series, and I love that that's going to continue because yeah, I'm not going to lie that this last one, a part of me was like, I'm just ready to get through this fourth one because I'm so excited about what's next.
And on that note, should we be sharing? So, listener, that puts a wrap on American Royals. We are officially closing this series. I am super excited. And as you know, we're headed into the throes of holiday season. So we do not have a series coming for you December 2025, obviously, because that just wouldn't make sense for us to start a series at the end of a year. But drum roll, please, because we have something so exciting for you coming in 2026 for our series, our first series pick of the next season. We have Red Rising by Pierce Brown. And I'm so, so excited. I know that the ladies here are super duper excited to be reading this one with us. So obviously, there's going to be more to come on this one, listener, as the new year approaches. It's only like, y'all, it's just over like 40 days away. Like, it's
Crazy.
not super far. So you best be getting ready. Obviously, we will have more updates as all of that unfolds. We know that there have been this series in particular has definitely developed a following. We know many of you probably have read it already or you are thinking about reading it. So join along with us as we've got some exciting things with our series read, and then also more things to come with the podcast author interviews. We do have a holiday episode coming up in December, which is super exciting. And then, of course, a recap of 2025 because it's already coming to a close and it's going to be 2026, which just sounds super duper weird to say. But are there any other thoughts? Did I miss anything, ladies, as we close out and say goodbye to our royal family of America?
No,
No?
I think that was well said. We're gonna close this chapter and lots to look forward to, and I can't wait to start the next series in 2026.
Yes, ladies. I'm so, so excited. Until next time, listeners, cheers.
Cheers. Thanks so much for listening. The Narratives and Nightcaps podcast is a production of The Craft Co. with intro music created by Remington Haynes.
Subscribe to the show on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. Follow at Narratives and Nightcaps on Instagram or visit our website, narrativesandnightcaps.com.
Sign up for our newsletter to always know what we're reading next, which authors are joining us on the show, and for extra bookish and beverage info.
Connect with our additional co-hosts, Jordan and Emily, as well.
You can find me on Instagram at Cozy Reads and Sips.
And you can find me on Instagram at books.bottles.
Cheers!
Cheers.